You know what to do. Drop it.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Val's the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said Val's the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. Make sure we take care of a couple of housekeeping notes. Make sure you like the show. Obviously, we're just bringing you quarter by quarter of sports information. We never get enough. We never get tired of doing that because we want to make sure that you out there are informed. And my girl Bella unplugged and pulled up on me. Let's go, Coach T. What's good? And hopefully you're feeling better this week. So I'm glad to see you in the house with us. Make sure if you got questions, make sure you put them in the chat line so Val the voice can put them on the screen with you. Also, make sure you share the show with people that you know and making sure they share it with their friends. And then most importantly, subscribe to the show of the Pull Up Podcast Show. Before we jump into the topics and what we're going to jump into, let's bring out my girl, sidekick, my roadie, my one and only Val the Voice Johnson. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, you look like you on a road trip, Val. You got the studio tonight. I see. That's what we do, everybody. We keep it busy even when we're on the road.
We have to do those things so that we're able to make sure that we take care of you, our audience, which we are excited about. We're trying some new things here. We're streaming to our IG platforms, and they mentioned Mars, but some weird things have happened. But your girl is still working the things out as we speak. There we go.
Man, that's why you producer. That's why I got you in the pocket. That's why I got to keep you like that, because you know how to do and get things done.
Exactly.
A couple housekeeping notes when we jump in. I'm going through a few things, so throw some prayers in there for me. Got a couple of, as they say, as far as I know, Val, the devil is owing 1,000 or maybe owing 1,000,000 against God. So I'm riding with God all day, every day. So I appreciate any of the blessings you throw my way. I can feel them. So I'll just keep getting the devil off my back so I can continue to strive forward. And also tonight, with the big message we got, if you know someone that's got a gambling addiction, if you know someone who's in trouble with gambling and doing anything of that nature, please reach out to your local Gambling Anonymous in each of your states. And, there's one in Illinois, Tennessee, California, you name it. And if you're in a state where we have legalized gambling, most of the gambling apps also on the homepage have a 1-800 for gambling. So please make sure you take care of that, because that is just a big Val of an addiction as drugs are.
It is. And it's a little known fact that gambling can take away your savings, your rent money, your mortgage money, the food that you need to put on your table, all of these things. And I don't mean to say it in jest. It's something very, very serious. And I find it a little disturbing that we're covering this type of story right now regarding the Major League Baseball. I'm thinking to myself, baseball is America's favorite pastime, but seems like America's favorite pastime is betting. But we got to be careful, right, Coach?
I'm telling you, forgot the one important piece you didn't add in. You can lose your family,
Oh, yeah, you definitely could lose your family. And Bruce, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Rob asked what's going on. I like y'all checking in, and I keep checking in all over the place. And if y'all friends are not checking in, send them the link and tell them to get up on the show. What's wrong with them? They ain't doing nothing but sitting home watching the Philadelphia Eagles tonight play Green Bay. We're going to talk about that later, too.
Okay, wonderful.
I think he made a great point as we get in here and kind of kick off, as we get ready to get started. How was your weekend? By the way, I heard it snowed at home. Ooh, I ain't got to worry about none of that.
Well, you're in Tennessee, so I'm assuming that's not happening where you are. But for
we got
me,
flurries today, Val.
we
No,
had
we got
about
snow
3
flurries
inches.
today.
I'm sorry?
We got snow flurries today, and they shut the schools down.
Wow. Is it snowing where you guys are?
Oh,
I hope not.
This morning we got the tail end of what came through Chicago, through Indianapolis, and wrapped around to the East Coast. We kind of got it. We got the back end. We got some flurries as you kind of headed out of Nashville, going towards Knoxville, in between Cookville, Crossville area. The big difference here about, our expressways or highways are more up and down hilly, and it was 5 major accidents that shut the highway down today. That's how bad it was.
Oh, so you guys have definitely got to be careful out there. And let me go ahead and say hello to some folks in the chat. Oh my gosh. Kevin says, "What up, y'all? What up with you there in Brooklyn?"
No.
Y'all know. And I'm so grateful that it's weird. Some of our numbers are jumping up and down. It's because we're having some issues on YouTube, which is fine. But thank you so very much. And of course, you can see us on LinkedIn as well. And I'm getting ready to get another thing going to Facebook. But let's jump into it, Coach. It's the first.
I'm put the question
quarter,
out here. I'm gonna explain what's going on. Then I'll put a question to you guys. So as you guys may or may not know, Val just mentioned baseball. Now, not a lot of people watch baseball. I don't know about you, Val. Before I even get into the topic, when do you watch baseball?
I watch baseball when I'm invited to a game.
Other than that, you watch it on TV?
Unless it's a player that I know or
the White Sox or something like that?
Something like that. If it's the White Sox, if it's it just depends on who's playing. I grew fond of the Yankees while I was there in New York, so I was like, oh, okay. But here's the thing with baseball, it's all about making sure that you are. I don't know. I had a great time going to a Sox game with my childhood bestie because she loves the Sox.
Oh, me too.
And for me, it's about the fellowship of having fun.
Okay.
Even if you don't know exactly what's going on, but I it's my pastime of having fun. There you go.
Right. Well, I ended up living in a house, a little history on Coach T. I lived in a house that was owned by Red Faber, south side of Chicago. He passed away. We moved in the late 70s, 78, 79. The son came by, Val, and gave my mom, me, my sister, my dad 4 tickets, third baseline, to the Chicago White Sox, old Comiskey Park off 35th. So I grew up watching Carlton Fisk, Harold Baines, Greg Luzinski bang them balls out the opposite way. This is pre-United Cellular as it was being born, when them fools over in Robert Taylor's was shooting bullets, trying to shoot at people. And the thing was, Chicago, folks, they were shooting at people while they were trying to build a new stadium. That was crazy. But that's how far I go back with the Sox. But baseball for me, Val, unlike basketball, I'm watching it from day one. In football, I watch it depending on who's playing, especially with our beloved Bears, which we'll get into later. But baseball, I'm more of a September guy. August, September, when it heats up and it's coming down the stretch, because that's when everybody's playing, supposed to be playing their best. And Bruce just said, as far as betting, when it comes to sports, I want to hear what you got to say, because you just led into it, Bruce. Even though I love those guys, I love the Sox and all that, I don't see these guys wrapped in anything. And if you haven't caught the latest news, Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, 2 Latino brothers, it's over the Latino brothers, amigos of mine, coming across.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
They played. My man and them, they played for the Cleveland Guardians, because we don't call them Indians no more, right, Val? They're the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
They have been caught in the latest scandal of sports betting. Not only have they been caught, these brothers both face 4 felony counts: evading the game, throwing baseball games. And the crazy part, and here's the question before I even get to it, because you guys can ponder on it. The first question: Is it greed or is it stupidity? And Val, I'm gonna let you answer that first. Again, is it greed or is it stupidity? Because unlike the basketball, if y'all watched the show a few weeks ago, because me and my mans and then we kicked it, we told y'all all the information. Tonight, me and Val's on this one. These are $1 million athletes, Val, making millions. You know, I'm struggling to try to get the damn podcast where we needed to be. They making millions, but they're betting for thousands. So then my question was, is it greed or is it stupidity? Would you put your job that you are working your 9 to 5, making $100,000, would you put that in jeopardy to make an extra $1,000? That's the complexity of what we're looking at. And Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortega go back years. Val, some of these bets when I saw them was ridiculous. $3,500, $10,000, $11,000. Are you insane? And you are $1 million pitcher in a professional baseball, and you come from South America. So you already have struggled to get to where you are. And you are a king or goddess in your country. Like my boy Ortiz that used to play with the Boston Red Sox. Ortiz is the man. And Big Papi did it the right way. Now he's a Hall of Famer. Now these guys, Val, are facing 15 years per charge. 4 charges could land each of these guys maximum 65 years in jail. So before I even get to my secondary question, the question on the table is this greed or is this stupidity?
I think it's a little bit of both, Coach. I hate to say it that way, but I think with both gentlemen, I don't know if they were threatened, because to me, I'm thinking maybe they did this because they were threatened. Maybe it was someone that said, hey, either you throw this pitch this way or whatever, or this is going to happen to you. Like it would be some kind of threat, like something outside of itself. And then there could be the thrill of, I don't have to, they were, I believe both were throwing pitches or doing some other things so people could bet and make, up to 6 figures. And when I was reading that, I was thinking, but you're already making all of these, you're already making 7 figures.
Right.
Or maybe 8 figures.
Right.
And unless someone is threatening your family or there's some kind of outside something coming after you to say, if you don't do this, this will happen to your child, your wife, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister, your parents, something. I don't understand why. And but here's the thing. I believe there's a much bigger issue happening. This call to all athletes, especially ones that are of African-American descent and of Spanish descent. We know what's happening in the country, Coach. So it's called, if you're not doing something right, if we looked away now, we're going to catch you. And it doesn't make sense to bet and the bet is not even, you're making that per, what, 3,000, 4,000, maybe making that per hour toward a game. I don't know. It's not making sense to me. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. And speaking of making it make sense, on that note, we're going to take a quick break here at the end of the first quarter because we the Pull Up Podcast Show. We got to pay some bills ourselves, and we ain't throwing games around here. Val, pay these bills. We'll be right back in the second quarter of the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, Coach Tony, and my sidekick, Val the Voice Johnson, sitting right there. Hey, I'm Coach Tony, and this is the Pull Up Podcast Show. For every Monday, we break down the game quarter by quarter and give you information as well as break down the culture. Join us on the Pull Up Podcast.
Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Val's the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said Val's the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the Key Spot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. Key Spot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. Key Spot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
All right, we're back.
Okay, so, and I'm going to jump in on Val's comment, but I'm actually going to start it with Bruce's comment because I like that, Bruce. And that is, Bruce mentions, he says, as far as betting, when it comes to sports, especially here in America, we know everything is wide open. I'm in Tennessee. Obviously, some things like that don't know. We're good to go. But Bruce just mentioned, and thank you, Bruce. This was a comment I was going to actually make. He said, when it comes to that, we can't be surprised too much when you have sports betting everywhere. Let's go back to Val's comment that she mentioned before we took a break. The question on the table, is it greed or is it stupidity? Val just mentioned she thinks it's a little bit of a both. I just think it's just stupidity because you already know you're making millions, to Val's point. You already know that you are a professional. And you already know, Val, that if you do this, it's already illegal and you're going to get in trouble. For a few extra $1,000, I'm going to take Charles Barkley. You stupid as hell. Because
I don't know if I'd say all that.
No, I'm telling them all that. Because if they making 20, 30 million as a pitcher, think about it, Val. Man, you struggling every day. They just get up and go to the ballpark. They pitch a couple innings. And sometimes these guys don't work for 3 days, right? They don't pitch sometimes for 2 or 3 games. And they're still getting the paycheck, still getting it all. And then you're going out here, and what I do like and I don't like. The do like is I do like the fact of the matter that these betting sites, Val, have an algorithm built into it. So here's the situation.
Okay.
I'm in the 7th inning. Now, unlike Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Rozier we talked about, we know they was tied to the mob, right?
Right, exactly.
These guys are not, as of thus far. So that threat to my family and all the stuff you're talking about is not there. So that's why I say it's stupidity, because it's not, it's that stupid because you're greedy, but it's stupid. So you can't get it. You can't be like these 3 NBA guys because they were betting on a different situation and tied to the mob. So the mob got these guys tied by the But the baseball guys, kind of what Bruce said, they're tied more to the sports betting. And Val, you just answered it. And if I put a poll on the podcast tonight, everybody that's in the podcast tonight, as a matter of fact, tell me, how much baseball do you watch? Do you say you watch it the whole season, middle of the season? Do you watch your favorite team, or you strictly watch baseball in September when it gets interesting? Because, Val, these guys know. They were throwing pitches. Let's just get down to the specific. I didn't even know you can do this because I would make a lot of money. I'm going to start looking at it myself for promotional purposes only.
Please say that.
They were betting, Val, in the 6th inning, right? In the 6th inning, the second at bat. So they'll give you the first batter. But in the 6th inning, the second at bat, on the 4th pitch, it's going to be a ball. Who the hell know that unless you got a crystal ball, right? So that means I don't care what the count is. I don't care what you do. If the count could be 2 balls and 1 strike, or 2 strikes and 1 ball, or 2 strikes, no ball, or 2 strikes, whatever it may be. But on that 4th pitch, that pitch better be a ball. And these dudes doing stupid stuff, Val, like throwing a ball in the ground. I was watching one of the replays, and the dude threw the ball so far above the back catcher's hand, it hit the back net. And the announcer says, wow, I don't know where that ball was going. And then all of a sudden, they looked into the algorithm, just like in the NBA we talked a couple of weeks ago, right, Val? And the algorithm showed on that pitch, $1,000 bet brought back $100,000. And all of a sudden, it's going like this, Val. You see my hand? Then it goes like, and then back down. So they're like, wait a minute. That pitch paid a lot of people. One pitch paid out on one particular point. One baseball pitch paid out $2.2 million on one pitch, Val. So it was like, wait a minute. This guy's playing the whole game and one pitch paid out $2 million? Something must be going on. So that enhanced the investigation. And we know what happened in the NBA a few weeks ago, right, Val? When the players come, they already got what they need.
But, here's the thing. We honestly, and I'm thinking about it, payout. What is this? Playoffs. Greg Jackson says that he comes and he checks out baseball during playoffs. And I'm assuming that's when a lot of the betting happens around that time. But and that's when and I watch it when it gets interesting like that during the playoffs. That's my time. But I'm thinking, could the people that are making the money from you throwing a weird ball or an interesting pitch or something that's not regular, didn't you realize this was going to get catch up to you? According to ESPN, they said that these 2 gentlemen had been possibly throwing and doing some things all the way dating back to May of 2023.
Right, so back in the middle. And you know what's crazy about that, Val?
Years. That's crazy. What was that?
You know what's crazy about that? What happened in 2023?
We had some people that were disqualified for steroid use.
Yeah, that, but I wasn't thinking about that. And that could be 2023. Val, bring your ear closer. Bring your ear. Come.
I got to do the bring my ear close. Okay, let me do that. Okay, what we doing?
Yeah, come on close.
I'm coming close. What happened?
It was the middle of the pandemic. So
everybody was getting toward the end. It was 23.
We were still in the mid. We were still in the pandemic, right? We were still scared. So basically, Val, what you just said, we're in the pandemic. So only a few people were trickling outside, right? And the only thing was on TV during that time that everybody hated was what? Golf and baseball. Think about it. During that time, you were pissed on it, like, man, I gotta watch golf. I love it. I love golf. But they were like, I know
you love golf, but I'm 2023.
We were slowly coming out the pandemic.
But here's the thing. 2020 was kind of the extreme part of
it. When it hit.
That's when it hit. 2021, we were still, it was a slow open, and then we changed administrations, and then in 2022, it started to get a little bit better. I feel by 2023, the restrictions and things that happened weren't as strong.
Right.
But in regards to because everybody, especially sports, especially athletes, everybody was itching to get back on the court,
Correct.
back on the green, back everywhere. Yes, they were fighting to do the. I think in 2023 we were coming all the way back by then.
Yeah, sports saved the pandemic, right? The NBA was in the bubble down in Orlando. The football played. I know for a fact because I remember my son was playing high school ball. I was still coaching in college, and I remember Val. We were going to practice. We actually had games the whole entire season and a half. Where the first year we had the pandemic in 21, they would only let one parent. So there was only like 12 or 14 people in the whole gym. Think about that. And we're talking about a college game. In the second year, they let 2 people or 3 people, okay, 35 people, right? And then all of a sudden, when 23 came, they opened it up only a little bit, but you still had to be tested. So think about it. Baseball understood they still wasn't back at the time. So they were doing everything. And like Bruce said, Clase and Ortiz were basically relief pitchers. So I don't know if you understand. Do you understand what a relief pitcher is, Val?
I think that's a pitcher that comes in, but he's not the main pitcher.
Exactly. Okay. You pitch a good game for 7 innings, but your arm hurt, and you start giving up a couple wrong. We up 4-1, and all of a sudden we 4-2, 4-3, and the coach said, "Whoa, Val arm getting hurt. Let's bring Tony in." He only got 6 strikes to get, 3 in this inning, an 8th, and 3 in the 9th. That's a relief pitcher. So Bruce is basically saying that they were bringing these guys in to be closers. And it's not like they're pitching 5 to 9 innings, which is what the example I just gave you. Right. But they're getting paid millions of dollars. That's guaranteed. And so they waste all that on what? 11,000, Bruce? That was 8 cases. 11, 13, 5,500, 2,200, 17,000. Come on, man. Shit. At least Chauncey and the basketball guys got paid millions. They were tied to the mob.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I mentioned that if there was some type of outside threat that was pushing Ortiz or pushing them to just, you know what, we've got to do this because someone is threatening our families, threatening something, and you keep shaking your head no. So I'm trying, but it's not working.
So the FBI so far, Val, has not found a mob infiltration for baseball. Now, okay, you and I, and I love y'all, LA, but Chicago, New York, number 1 and 2. I love y'all. Y'all get 3, whatever. But if it's New York and Chicago, I can feel you on the mob infiltration. But baseball didn't have that. These guys had what Bruce said. That's why I ask, is it greed or is it stupidity? Because it's nuts. And I'm going to put another question on the table before we take our break and switch.
This is a reminder.
Is the NFL and college basketball, are they next? Because we just did this thing with NBA and now Major League Baseball. So is the NFL in the college basketball? Because think about it, Val. College basketball right now is getting swamped up by NIL deals. Right? These kids, some schools making more than others. Some sports are making up more than others. Man, if I'm a mobster and I come on and you running track and field, I say, hey, Val, I give you $100,000. All I need you to do, I know you're a top sprinter, you're going to the Olympics. I just need you to lose this race. Run a good race, but down the stretch when you know that it's close, pull up just a little bit, come sack it. You got $100,000. Now, in your mind, you're saying, shit, I'm already headed to the Olympics, right? I could possibly get an Olympic medal. Nobody noticed this. But I'm just running for University of Tennessee versus Arkansas. But Val, I know she's my competitor. Me and my girl, we go at it all the time. I win some, she wins some. So if she catch me on the stretch, I pull up, break it down slightly early, she run by me. But that night, I got $100,000 in the suitcase. Ooh, Val.
But you know what? And Gary said pocket change, and then of course I think I saw Bella says yes, Coach Tony, it's both. She agrees with you, and I'm just thinking that it's very disturbing when they've made betting legal with the FanDuels and the MGM and all the rest of these. And so
365, ESPN bet, all of
the betting thing. And here's the thing. It is I guess $1 billion business because of all of the advertising it does to young people, to women, to everyone. It markets. Anytime I go and I was doing the research for this story, and I got hit with like 3 or 4 betting ads. So I'm like, oh, back at it, putting it in your face, like, go bet.
Hey, I know you want to hear about this story, but go put the places bet first.
I'm researching what's happening about betting, and I get bombarded with ads saying, "Go bet, go bet, go bet."
Yeah.
I'm so grateful, Coach, that you started out this segment with our earlier segment about if you have any issues with gambling. Because
I don't know if you bet, and my listeners bet. I'm a big better. I'm a FanDuel guy, and the thing is, Val, there's something on the betting app called prop bets. Do you understand that?
Please explain it to your audience as we get ready to wrap up.
We go to halftime. Ask Cal 2000. What's up? Thanks for checking in. Good evening, all. Prop bets. Prop bets, Val, is what I just mentioned. A prop bet is when the game is in play. Let's take our beloved Chicago Bulls, because I know you understand basketball. All right. Let's go rewind the tape so I'll make sure you understand this fully. We know our beloved Michael Jordan puts up numbers, right? So I bet on Mike in the third quarter to miss a layup and a jump shot 4 minutes in the game. Michael Jordan has a fast break, misses a dunk. And then 30 seconds later, we get a steal from Pippen. He misses a layup. But I got $100,000, or let me make it easy. I got $1,000 on a 13-1 bet, and I just made $130,000 on one bet. So that's what's called a prop bet. Yes. So the commissioner of baseball, the commissioner of basketball, NFL, they're sitting down now. Now they're taking questions now, Val, because now they want to know, should we take these prop bets away from the betting app? Because Val, it's everything. Val, I can say on this next play, Val's going to run 5 yards. If you don't run for 5 yards, I could put $1,000 on you not running 5 yards, and you pass the ball, then I win whatever the odds are. If the odds are 5-1 on $1,000, I win a quick $5,000. So when you're looking at this, and I know I'm saying it for promotional purposes only, but this is how deep it is. So again, if you know somebody that's got a gambling addiction, you know somebody that's got a problem, you know somebody that's about to lose their family, their whole situation, tap into Gambling Anonymous in your local state. And on that note, we're going to take a quick halftime break, and we're going to spin on a dime. It's your boy, Coach Tony, on the Pull Up Podcast Show with my girl right here. I'm pointing that right there, Val the Voice. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show. Talk to me. Who you got?
I mean, just look at the lineup on the Millennials. You got Steph Curry, best three-point shooter in of all time. Matter of fact, we got Kevin Durant, KD, Slim Reaper, one of the best players, We got Harden, Joker, and of course, LeBron James, the GOAT of basketball himself. And, he's the all-time leading scorer, brings teams from the bottom all the way to the top. Without him, I mean, man.
I'm going to answer that
what would basketball even be?
I'm going to give you that in a minute, but okay. Coach Justin, what you got?
Man, it's tough. I'm thinking about it. Magic is going to be AI. Jordan is going to be Kobe. Shaq is going to get the edge on Hakeem Olajuwon. Tim Duncan is going to get the edge on Charles Barkley. Larry may have the edge. Millennials, I got to X out the Millennials just because they have James Harden on there. If they might replace him with someone else that I could think of, I probably would pick the Millennials over everybody.
Let's go. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Man, that's my nephew beating down that Pull-Up Podcast Show track. Shout out to my kid, the one and only Demetrius Drummond, a.k.a. Young Pharaoh, on the Pull-Up Podcast Show. Spin on the dime. Get into this weekend, Val. Woo-wee! For y'all can get your pencils out, get your ink pens out, piece of paper. It's college football playoff time. College football playoff time for promotional purposes only. And we got the bracket. See, Val, the brand new brackets that we can show y'all what it looked like. Val, matter of fact, this weekend I was arguing with my guy down in Memphis. Why? Because Memphis finally made the bracket 12. And what they do, Val, they lose. Welcome. You walk into the bracket, you got to win. You got to win. But it's college football playoff rankings, and people up and down. Obviously, the two best conferences in the United States is none other than the SEC and my beloved Big Ten. They dominate. The top four teams for this year's college football playoff is nothing but the Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked number one. And for those that don't know, y'all should know I'm one of them smooth brothers. I'm one of them crimson and cream. I'm one of them Kappa Alpha Psi, them Yo Baby Yo brothers, right? My guys down in Bloomington, Indiana, you know, going on. They ranked number 2. And then we're going to head south to the warm weather. Next door to one another. Georgia Bulldogs ranked 3rd, and Alabama down in Tuscaloosa ranked 4th. And that is going to be very, very interesting. Now, we talk about the college football playoff picture. And I argue with a lot of guys about that. And Indiana's in here, the Buckeyes is in here, Oregon. You have dominated between these top two conferences. Out of the 12 teams that are being looked at, the SEC, Val, right now has 4. The Big Ten has 3. That's 7. Notre Dame is the NBC money. That's 8. Memphis was in there. That's 9. And then you got Miami and a couple of bodies in the ACC. I don't really think if you, for promotional only, whether you're on Bet365, MGM Bet, FanDuel, whatever you got, I don't think that these top 4 teams heading into college football, the end of the season is going to change, Val. I think no matter if they move from 1 to 4, I think you're going to have University of Ohio, University of Indiana, or Indiana University playing the Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. And I think you're going to have Georgia playing Alabama for the SEC. Everyone else stand in line to get seconds.
Well, here, well, I think I guess what's happening right now is that the top 4, if I'm looking at this correct, with the exception of Alabama, everyone has won their Ohio State is 9-0. Is that about right?
Yep.
9-0. Indiana's 10-0. We have Texas
no,
A&M.
I had a bye. Texas A&M is in there, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, undefeated.
Okay, yeah, 9-0, and then Alabama is at 8, but they've lost 1. So I guess when you have and you're keeping track, I don't know how this is happening. You're not having any losses against any of your competitors. Then of course you are going to be looked at as, okay, we're in the 11th week of college football. Is that about right?
About right.
So if we're in the 11th week of college football and you're one of the teams that has not lost a game, and that's, what are we, about halfway through? We're about halfway through.
College football, we're about 80% through.
We're about 80% through, yeah, because all the bowls start to show up in about around after Christmas.
No. Bowl games start showing up after Thanksgiving for college.
Oh, so sorry. So it's Thanksgiving is coming. So Thanksgiving is 2 weeks.
We're about 3 weeks away from the bowl game, pal.
Okay, excuse me. I'm thinking
This ain't the NFL. This is college.
Okay, college. Okay, great. So here we go. So we're in week 11, and those are the top 4 teams, and this is fun. Quick question. I have a question for you, Coach. Who does the rankings for the college teams based on their rankings? And we came up with the four top colleges, but who comes up with that? Okay, these are the top 25. How do they come up with that?
That is a perfect question. So you have what's called the College Football Playoff Committee.
Okay.
So there's a actual committee, Val, that you have to be nominated to be on. And I think it's a committee of 12 people. And the 12 people, the top 4 conferences. For those that don't know, there's what's called the Power Conference. The Power Conference is made up of 4 conferences: the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12. And of those, the commissioners of those top 4 conferences, called the Pac-12, lost out. They dominate with how many votes that they get. Then they vote, Val, based on the record, your schedule, right? How difficult. If you playing some cupcakes, I'm not about to give you no good ranking, Val. You playing cupcakes, and you making cupcakes. Now you making cornbread. I make you a little bit better. I know cornbread a little harder to make than cupcakes, right? So we do it like that. But to answer your question, there's a committee, and this committee sits down. They look at strength of schedule, your major losses, your weak losses. Val, you're ranked number 6. Then you lost to a team that's not even ranked at all. So you're going to drop a lot of points. But I'm ranked number 3, and I lost against the number 16. Well, we're both ranked in the top 10. That's a tough game. You see what I'm saying? So that's how these rankings come about. Now, in the top 10 ranking, there's one team that we call the money team. You know what that team is?
I have no clue who the money team is.
The money team is none other than Notre Dame University. You know why?
Money?
Nope. Well, yeah, money. What kind of money?
Old money?
What kind of old money?
Legacy money? Like
what kind of legacy money? Well, so
you asking too many questions, Coach.
I'm trying to pull it up out of here. I'm trying to get you the help. Notre Dame, Val, got that old, like you said, the legacy. They got all that. They got NBC. You know what those letters spell, right? NBC.
The network.
They are signed to an NBC deal. So they're the only university in the United States that has an exclusive NBC deal. So they're going to figure out a way to get Notre Dame ranked. I don't care who you are. And they're pretty good. But I love Coach Freeman. It's a brother. Man, get the brother paid. Get him in there. Do what you got to do. But when you're looking at everything that's going on, Val, you have got Big Ten, SEC heavy. And if Notre Dame can win out and do some good things, they may sneak up in there. But for me, in terms of where we're going with that, I'm going to give you your national championship.
Before you do that, check out Bruce's comment.
Okay, Bruce said, I think it'll be Texas A&M and Alabama going to the SEC championship and the Buckeyes in Indiana. Bruce, I like that. But let me tell you something. Them Texas boys got to go to Georgia. They got to go to the Hedges this weekend, man. They got to go down there with Ugga. You know, Ugga. Oh, they got the Bulldogs in the Hedges. And by the way, if you ain't been seeing Dominique Wilkins, boy, ooh-wee, Wilkins Jr., ooh-wee, Georgia on a ride right now. I like that, Bruce. But Texas A&M in the Hedges, Georgia all day. I don't think Georgia loses at home against A&M. And for promotional purposes only, bet that game as a single, put a few dollars on it, you'll get paid.
I like it. And I think that's what's going to be happening with the thank you for explaining the conferences, because for myself, and the conference that's no longer in the mix again is, you just mentioned it?
Pac-12, which used to be
Pac-12.
UCLA, USC, Washington, Oregon. They now belong to who, Val? Boom! The beloved Big Ten, baby. And everybody's fighting for what, Val? Money. And what did I tell you the money team is? Notre Dame. So in the future, if Notre Dame goes to the SEC or Notre Dame stays in the Big Ten, that's where the sway. And being that they are a South Bend, Indiana squad, do you really think they're going to go south? No. They're gonna stay north. And
we're wrapping up our third quarter, but at the top of the fourth quarter, you got to talk and let us know about who you believe is going to be in the national championship.
I'm gonna give y'all. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna give you who's gonna be in the national championship. Bruce, hey, bring your ear close, Bruce. Let me see your picks real quick. And I'm gonna tell you if you're right or you're wrong. But we're gonna take a quick break on the Pull Up Podcast. So we'll be right back with my girl right here. Val the Boys and your boy Coach Tony on the Pull Up Podcast. So we'll be right back. Hey, it's your main man, right back at you, coming live here from the Rise Studios. And it's your guy talking about what? Pull Up Podcast Show. What is the Pull Up Podcast Show? It's a brand new podcast hitting your airways nationwide, talking everything on sports, from baseball, basketball, hockey, and then I tell you, we're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure, if you want your questions answered, you want to have fun talking a lot of sports, make sure you pull up on me, because it's the Pull Up Podcast Show.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up.
Also, for those that want to learn a little bit more about this right here, oh yeah. That right there, that's the Rise, NIL, talking name, image, and likeness. Those having opportunities, getting paid, you want to tune in to it.
Sports show, let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and my girl sitting sidekick, Val, the voice, Johnson. Hey, I'm gonna pull my boy, NCC, Greg Jackson. Greg, for you that don't know, this brother has a unique opportunity. He's a youngster. He still got Similac behind the ears. You know what I'm saying? He kicked it with us on homecoming, man, my boy, because he was kicking it with me, the OG. Hey, man, hey. Gee, that's how we did it, baby. I love you, man. You know, I brought him into the fold. It was good. I love him. I'm always keep in touch with him. But Greg has got a unique opportunity, Val, where he's directly in contact with these type of situations. He's on the sideline. He's breathing and doing everything you can think with these schools and all that. Greg, I want to hear from you, man. What is it like, you know, down on those sidelines with those NCAA teams, especially those teams that are in the mix or in the hunt to win the national championship? Because, Val, those are billion-dollar money makers, girl, from like advertising revenue and all that. So I want to see it. And then Alvin says, you know, I'm late, but I made it because it's the subject. I appreciate it. But Al, I want you to jump in here. What's your college football picks, baby? Man, jump in there. Let me know what your college football picks. Don't come in. Don't slide in, run in. You know, Val. You know how.
Well, Greg said, he says Texas A&M or Alabama winning the conference title would ideally move them to number 2 spot, in my opinion. He said.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Hey, Greg, I give you that. You know why? And he's absolutely 100% right, because the conference championship game in the Big Ten would drop somebody. So if the conference championship game is going to be Indiana, Ohio State, if Indiana lose and Bama wins SEC, obviously they'll move up in Texas A&M. I love you, Greg, but I don't think A&M is going to get through them hedges, dog. I keep telling you. Georgia going to be tough at the crib, dog. At the crib. We got barbecue. We got smoke. pulled pork. We gonna feed them boys down here, man. They gonna get them the field full. They ain't gonna run the ball, man. Come on, man.
Oh my gosh. And here's Greg. He says the official title. Oh, okay. Focus, determination, all business for those guys. NIL is most definitely top of mind for him.
Yes.
That's what he
Yes, I
spoke
love that. I love that. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. That's funny you mentioned, and you're exactly right. But we're talking about that, and Alvin just said, "What's next for the Guardians now that the scandal is over?" You know, we talked about it in they
a
just
little
got
bit earlier.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Al. But hey, you got to let that rest. Cause you got to hope these two boys don't get no prison time, dog. And if they not, but you know, Greg, I'm with you. Here's the one thing, because you got the inside on. You could for promotional purposes.
I have him well trained. I'm so happy. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
And Val says shit. I'm like, move, right. But the crazy part about it is, Greg, I love him because he's out there, man. Look, dog, I'm straight Big Ten, dog. They got to come to the crib. I don't care what they do. I know we're on a neutral ground this year, but I'm telling you, the national championship is running through the Ohio State Buckeyes again. And I like Bama. Bama don't play no D. Ohio State gonna kill them. And my wide receiver saying, come on. And the QB for Ohio State, he's already running up right now for National Heisman Trophy. Man, talk to me, G. What they got? What they got?
I don't know. You
Man. Keep me hyped on here.
No, but all I know, this is exciting because let's just hope. I'm just hoping and praying that the betting does not mess up the college lane. I need everybody that's betting on the college people, just and my children that are playing. I'm gonna need you to not mess up your career before it even gets started.
Yeah, I'm with you. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's what makes me mad, Val, about the topic tonight. You got professional athletes who are already making, as you said, 8 digits. Forget the 7 damn digits, right? Shit, if they got a multi-year contract, they making over 10 mil. So they're making 8 digits and more. And you got these young college cats that Greg Jackson is on the sideline with, weekend in and weekend out, month in and month out. He's talking to these kids who out here getting these NIL deals. And they are abiding by the law, Val. Ain't been no scandal. And the easiest person to manipulate is who? A young college athlete.
Very young, yeah.
If I'm at NCC or NIU or one of those, and I'm not really like Northern getting their ass wore out this year. But shit, if I can put up yards or catches and get a little side hustle money that make me a $200,000-$400,000, I may entertain that. But they not. And that's why I like talking when Greg comes on. And by the way, BG, I gotta owe you an apology. I'm gonna call you, talk about your girl from Bolingbrook. I got some things for her. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on. But Greg is like, he's tied to the mix. And for those that don't know, I love his opinion because he's there weekend in and weekend out. He's seeing all that stuff. And like you said, Georgia, 1,000%. Y'all feed them, they're at Tennessee. And you know something, Greg? I'm down in the yard, baby. I don't think they gonna fold in Neyland Stadium, dude. I think they bring an Ugga. They bring an Ugga, baby. We're gonna win this game in Neyland on the road in Tennessee.
Oh my gosh. But I don't know. We just have to see what happens. And you were going to give, and I'm going to make sure I remind you of this, Coach. You were going to give your top picks for football. Who will we be seeing in a few weeks in the playoffs or in the bowls for football? So what you got for us, Coach, for promotional purposes only?
For promotional purposes, before I get it, I'm going to read Greg's last comment. I like that. Dude, this is one of the best. He says, here is a good insight for those that don't know, who don't keep close to the game.
Okay.
If you plan on working in professional sports as an administrator or a person that's within the office or whatever, Val, he said you need to put not betting on your resume. Because if you get caught up working as an administrator betting on games, you're going to basically lose. You're going to lose more than you win. And Greg, that is straight up, that is OG information. Now, for promotional purposes only, the Final Four, get your pencils out. The number one ranked team that will not lose and will be in the national championship game, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They will be the number one team going into this year's college football playoff. The number two ranked team, I think, is the University of Alabama, will move up to the number two spot going into the Final Four playoff. The number three team, believe it or not, that will be in, I think it's tough. It's tough. And I know they're going to kill me because I love them because I'm a Kappa and Beta is my chapter. Alpha chapter is Indiana. But I think the University of Notre Dame will slide in. I think Ty Whittingham has an easier road the next couple of weeks to win out with Notre Dame. And they're already ranked like number 6 or number 7. And I think they'll get up into that third spot because the bowl championships are the bowl championships. And then in the fourth spot, it's tough for me because then you will have Indiana, you will have Notre Dame, you will have Georgia. I don't think there's no other three. I think the Big 12, maybe. And I'm going to give it to the Texas A&M. So, rewind. The Big 10 will be number 1 with Ohio State. The SEC with Alabama would be number 2. The Independent will be Notre Dame. And the SEC will have Texas A&M. You'll have one team in Ohio State to defend the Big 10. You have Indiana as the number 5th seed to help out. One win gets them in. And that's how I look at this year's college football playoff round.
All right. Okay. And I made sure that I put up number 4 pick. I'm sitting up here trying to type exactly what you're saying, but I'm checking this out here and I'm seeing that Ohio, it seems like Ohio State has been a top ranked football team for
last year.
No, forget last year. I feel like during the time when I was watching Living Single, it was the fictitious character Overton, Wakefield Jones.
Wakefield Jones. Yeah.
He was Buckeye, and people was like Buckeye to the bone, and I'm like,
Buckeye to the bone.
Buckeyes since Living Single.
Living single. Hey, I got this kind of world. I'm a nice type of girl. Hey, man, that was
have ruined all the lyrics. It is I'm living single. You don't remember the lyrics. It don't matter.
I know the show.
But yeah, so I understand that. And also with Notre Dame, I think they will definitely show up. And just really quickly, what are the name of the bowls? Like Cotton Bowl? Like what are those bowls that are playoff bowls? Tell me.
You don't know that yet, Val, because they change based on what's going on. But I know you'll have the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. You'll have the Cotton Bowl, as my boy, my Phi Nu Pi. You got that in Texas. You'll have that. You have the Fiesta Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona. So you'll have the Orange Bowl in Miami. You'll have these different bowls that are always going to be the big bowl, but you won't know where you're at. Now, Greg, you're listening. You're tapped in. So you may be able to help me and Val out right now before we transition in overtime of the bowls and what the bowl names are and who's going where, when, and why. But Val, yeah, they will determine that in the next few weeks. Right now, the bowls are set, but the bowls are not set based on what team is going to lead to number one. So that's all being determined right now.
Excellent. So now we're officially in overtime, Coach.
I'm tied up. I don't like no tie ball game, man. I'm a coach. Listen, as we shift gears on here, oh my goodness, it's Coach Tony time. College basketball Val lunch this weekend. Oh my goodness. The games on par had me straight up stuck to the TV. My boy, as we say, the gangster godfather of the mob of basketball played in the, hold on, Val, how they say when you was in New York? The Garden. They played in the Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
Garden. Gotta say it like a New Yorker.
St. John's in Alabama played a hell of a game, put up with 100 points. Oh my goodness. You know, Coach, Rick Pitino and Nate, they were going at it. Great, for the game. College basketball, I was, man, I was in heaven. College basketball started, I was like, what? They were like, Coach, you watching this football game? Hell no, I'm watching basketball. They said, basketball? Yeah, dude, basketball. And it was absolutely one of the greatest games this weekend to kick off college basketball.
Oh my goodness. And here's a dumb question. Who won?
Alabama upset St. John's in the Garden, to kick off kick off the year. And then what was so cool is our guy who we love, beloved ex-Chicago Bulls, Carlos Boozer with the Bulls. He got a set of twins that are like, ooh-wee, playing for Duke University. Whoo! They playing for Duke University, and it's going to be amazing. These boys are bad. And his baby boy, I think the biggest kid, I don't think he'll last 2 years. I think he may be a one and done. But Carlos Boozer, Chicago Bulls kids are down, at there in Chicago's own John Schrayer is now the head coach at Duke University after Coach K. Awesome.
And I think we're proud. A former Bull has got his kids in the doing college ball.
Yes.
And he's hooping and stuff. I'm trying to bring him up. This thing is not coming from me. Okay, here we go. Ooh, so these are the twins.
Yes, the twins.
All right, family ties. Cameron
it's a family up there. I got to go 1979. Play the family affair because them kids, them two right there, man, they ain't small either. Man, they like 6'8", 6'6".
Wow. Okay, and they're really talented. And I can tell one is taller than the other.
Yeah. They Cameron is taller than his brother, and and he's a beast. He's on the boards. He's a double guy. Kind of remind me like of Dennis Rodman on the board. Carlos, I love you, baby. He plays like Rodman on the board, just gobbles up rebound. But he can score underneath. He does get in his little brother. I don't know if his little brother is going to go this year because I still think he's got some fine tuning only because they got him playing more out at the point in the wing, and which is Cam is down low, snatching boards. He opened up this weekend, had 2 double-doubles this weekend for Duke. I mean, that's huge, 16 and 10, 18 and 11. That's huge. And if he continues that, he'll be right out of there just like his boy that came through last year, Cooper Flag.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And so this is exciting for this family. And I think it's always cool when you are able to look and see that your children continues the legacy of playing great.
Oh my God.
Playing great sports and specifically basketball. So congratulations to the Boozer family. Yeah.
That's cool. Hands up. And it's like a girl, Dennis Rodman doing it, even though she wants soccer. You know what I mean? Same thing. But me, hey Greg, where you at, Greg? Where you at? I'm all about that Tom Izzo thing, dog. I like smacking you in the mouth, hitting you in the chin, couple elbows to the rib. Man, cool out. Don't call no foul, man. That's just love taps. You know what I'm saying? Michigan State, Val, open up this weekend against none other than Arkansas. You got Calipari versus Izzo and Lansing. Oh, my God. Michigan State University versus Arkansas. Oh, man, early season matchup. Oh, that was crazy. Great game. And our own Chicago, own Jeremy Spears' little brother. Oh, baby boy Spears put on a show. Double, rolling out the house this weekend. He's also a prospective pro. Now, I don't know if he's going to be one and done. He may have to give a couple years, really kind of hone in because he's not as big as his brother. But let me tell you something, Val. Coach Izzo had him ready. 24th ranked, knocked off the 12th ranked Arkansas Razorback. Come on. People going to leave Tom Izzo alone. Stop playing. Quit playing.
And what was another game you were checking out this weekend?
Oh man, there was so many other games that were checking out. My homeboys right here in Vanderbilt. Vandy's gonna have a quiet team. You better check out Vanderbilt University in the SEC. I know y'all looking at doing this and that, but Vandy's got a good team and they're gonna be pretty deep. They had a couple of schools, they were doing some things. They played this weekend, but watch out for Vanderbilt. They're gonna be pretty good. And speaking of Vandy, Val, for promotional purposes only, and I know Bruce, you just talking about the Rose Bowl and all that. But and Greg, you didn't mention these. Vandy, Val, may sneak into the college football playoff. First time, Val, and guess what?
They won?
No. The playoffs ain't started. I'm just telling you.
Right.
They may sneak into the playoff for the first time since the damn Cubs won the World Series over 100 years.
That's a long time to wait for that.
It is what it is. You get it in how you get it in, right? Get in where you, as they say, about get in where you fit in. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Vandy got Nashville. We rocking right now. Every weekend that Vandy went, that comeback by Pavia. Oh my goodness! This weekend they were set to lose. Val, the boy came back into the game, threw 2 or 3 touchdowns. He ran 100 yards on the ground. What? I'm telling you right now, Val. This NIL money and my boy, if y'all don't understand it, y'all better get with Greg Jackson. Put his contact information, put his IG in there. Y'all better get at him because he can break it down how it really is. And you know my boy, frat brother, yo, baby, yo, running the Cotton Bowl in the Clase. So Greg said, Val, on the college we were talking about the Cotton Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Peach Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and then there's the Sugar Bowl. So those are your top 6 bowls as we run out through college football. That's where we at.
Yeah. So I just wanted that broken down for me because I've heard of all of them. I've seen them on television. There's a whole big performance. They even run and get famous folks to perform at halftime. So I was interested in what the bowls were. Now I have a sweet tooth from looking at the Sugar Bowl and the Orange Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl because they all seem it's a fun time, right, Coach?
Hey, let me tell you something. It's not only a fun time. That's just what we do. That's just
and your boy is on, Johnny. He says that's what Michigan do.
Now what? Brrr. Hey, Johnny, you tripping. But I'm going to give you some. But let me tell you something. Y'all got them Buckeyes coming in a couple of weeks. Talk to me then. Let me see if you're still smiling. Because them Buckeyes is coming that weekend. That's one of the biggest games. Ohio State got a tough stretch down the stretch. And that's what, Val, I laugh with these SEC boys I fight with all the time here in Nashville. Y'all talking crazy. Do you not forget we got like 3 or 4 head-to-head at the end of the season? That's going to make a difference. And Pratt, like he said, that Michigan game is going to be really good because last year before, Michigan upset Ohio State. The year that they won it, last year we got revenge, and this year we rolling. I love that freshman quarterback, Pratt. I just don't think he's got nothing for these Buckeyes this year. Not y'all defense. I don't think so. But the advantage is we're back to Ann Arbor.
Harsh criticism, Coach.
Man, Pratt know how we do. Shit, we back to Ann Arbor. That's the only thing I give the credit back. 2 years ago we was in Ann Arbor. Last year we was in the shoe. This year we back to Ann Arbor. But we're going to walk it out the house this year, dog. We're going to walk it out the house.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Well, you know what, Coach? It has been a complete pleasure walking. Thank you for walking me through hand holding with the bowls, and then letting me know exactly what was going on with the betting scandal in baseball, and then of course us talking about the top ranked 25 college football
Emotional purposes,
teams.
yeah.
For promotional purposes only. Coach is giving you who he knows, he feels he's got a vibe that it's going to be Ohio State showing up. That's his number one pick. So if I've learned nothing else, if you're an athlete, please don't bet.
Hey, if you're an athlete, bet with Coach Tony. That's what she's really trying to say.
No, I did not say that. Okay, I need you to talk about the rise. Tell me about the rise.
Before we talk about
the rise about? Tell me about this. Tell me what the rise is.
Hold on, Val. Before we get to the rise, I got a big shout out to my boy. Woo, the Bears and Coach Ben Johnson. He got my Bears rolling right now. 6-3 coming to week 10. The Bears doing some thing in the NFC North. The NFC North is one of the toughest divisions in the NFC this season. Minnesota lost. Philly handling business against Green Bay tonight. The Bears, Val, may go from 2 weeks ago in the bottom of the conference to this week. We may be in number one. So, I mean, watch out for them Bears. I'm telling you right now, watch out for the Bears. We playing a mediocre next 2 or 3 games. We can get another 2-3 wins and push it to 9-3. Bears make the playoffs. I'm telling you right now. Now, as we talk about Paul Tagliabue, NFL commissioner, passed away. Special prayers go out to the family, friends, loved ones. He ran the NFL under his direction. Commissioner Tagliabue, Val, don't know if you know this, he put more minority coaches into head coaching roles than any other commissioner in the NFL. And he's going to be missed. And it was just I remember when Tagliabue was around doing the things. He was there doing Katrina, Val. And I would never get the NFL down because the Super Bowl that year was supposed to be played in the Superdome. And they made it, and remember they used the Superdome as a makeshift hotel.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff was going on. So big shout out to Paul Tagliabue. And then the other passing, which really hurts my heart, is none other than Lenny Wilkins, the great Lenny Wilkins, the coach that just simply didn't stop. Point guard into coach in my family, my uncle, David Thompson, NC State, got his ring, Seattle Supersonics, with Coach Lenny Wilkins, 1979 in the Bay Area. So, that is just awesome. And Coach Lenny Wilkins will definitely be missed. We talk about him on the sideline, Val, with USA Basketball, the NBA, what the NBA has been able to do over the last few years. Coach Wilkins was instrumental in the Cavaliers. Unfortunately, we had this one dude across Lake Michigan called Michael Jordan in the Bulls and Phil Jackson that put a stop to that. Coach Wilkins would have won some championships. So, man, prayers go out to both Tagliabue and Lenny Wilkins. They will greatly, greatly, greatly be missed.
Mm-hmm. And thank you so very much for saying that. And you told me when you were telling me that they had passed within hours of each other.
Within the same day, within hours of each other. I mean, I know that they say God takes them in threes, and he took two of the best. He took two people that were very instrumental in two separate sports, and both at the highest of achievement, Val.
And Lenny was at 88 years young.
And Tagliabue was 84.
Right. So I feel good. If we are blessed, Coach, to make it to our 80s, I really would love to be able to say, I'd love for God to say, hey, servant well done. I'm not requiring you to do anything else, but then we got to make sure that we are serving in the best way that we know how. So now I was a little premature.
I don't know what Val talking. I'm like, it's the Pull Up Podcast. So this is 84 years old.
Yeah, okay. Tell us about the Rise, Coach. Tell us about the
Rise. You know, it's been great. It's wonderful to work with these young athletes. Speaking of NIL, Greg Jackson has got a young lady for me. We're working on that right now. Gee, I apologize, but I already got her out there. We're going to touch bases here. Probably tonight I'll call you. But it's stuff like that where people like Greg and other guys that reach out to me and say, hey, Coach, I got an athlete, Val. This kid can play, flat out play ball. High school kid, ready to go college. I got a shooter. Coach is Upperman County. Just got a kid here in Tennessee, Les Delonte, his daughter, Ashley. So, I mean, I got some kids all over the country. And these kids have the opportunity to come in and work with me, Val, where we work with different brands, big, small, medium, or whatever, and just simply try to make sure that the athletes themselves know that they have the power to unleash everything they got in terms of their potential. And if they can do that, we have the ability with the brand, Val, to make sure we maximize everything we can do for their earning potential, whether it be for $300, $3,000, or $3 million. We try to work with these kids and make sure that the brands understand what they're getting, social media fees, and all that. So if you want to check out more, get at me at www.therizenil.com. therizenil.com so that we can work with you. And Val, let me tell you something. This last 8 days, I've got 2 football kids. I've got another volleyball player. I've got a golfer. One of my kids that just sent to Stanford just told me that they just made the club team, working their way on the Stanford basketball team. That's a young female. Got a young lady at Notre Dame that's looking to walk on to the golf team. So we've been doing some big things and all that. And if the brand's interested in it, make sure you reach out. And I appreciate you.
And of course, I want to let you guys know about my book. It's called A DJ Saved My Life. Scan the QR code and go ahead and order your print copy. We're getting toward the end of the year, so I'm hoping to get some more print copies ready. But if you want your signed copy, go ahead and visit purelighthouse.media.com. And then, of course, on tomorrow, Coach, there's a couple of things we'd like to chit chat about for entertainment. The 4th and unfortunately the last season of Bel Air on Peacock is coming to a close. It's going to be premiering just in time for Thanksgiving. I want to see how they're going to close out the series. I have loved this series, Coach, so much. So we are going to talk about it. Take a look at the trailer. And then, of course, what came out last week, Coach, I told you about this. The Michael Jackson official teaser. It's coming out. The film directed by Antoine Fuqua, who did Training Day. Fuqua, right.
Hey, man, you know what I'm going to tell y'all like this, man? You know, I'm like Denzel. King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Oh my gosh. All right. Time to wrap it up. All right.
Appreciate you guys checking in tonight on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and my sidekick right here, riding hard, Val, the voice like Laurel and Hardy. But you know, right now, every time that we put on a good show, we got to break up out these doors because somebody may be chasing us. We always say, peace.
Ain't nobody chasing me. I'm good.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.